juggernaut.
Peggy 16.
So, Mordheim, City of the Damned has just recently been released on PS4 and Xbox One. It came out about a year ago on PC, but this is the first time that we've had a video game based on the Mordheim property. Now, Mordheim is a kind of sub-series in the Warhammer world. Of course, Warhammer was made by the Games Workshop. It was originally a tabletop game, which, to be honest with you, yeah, not my thing. I'm not a tabletop gaming kind of guy. I'm a video gaming kind of guy. And the Warhammer games have translated to video game properties very well. And Mordheim is no exception. So Mordheim basically is a game based around the city of Mordheim. You've got these word stones that can heal, they can feed, they're like these super powered stones, and they're very rare. So you and your group, also known as a warband, basically want to scoop them all up, steal them for yourself, build up your experience through battles, make sure that the opponents don't get their hands on these word stones, and lead your way into victory through these beautifully gothic landscapes, which are really well done, to be fair. The graphics are very simplistic in a way. They're not really next gen video quality. They're very simple, straightforward, but they do have an absolute atmosphere, very claustrophobic feeling as you wander through the worlds. And the game also feels quite claustrophobic. It's a turn-based RPG, and it's a turn-based strategy game. Think of XCOM, but based in a fantasy setting. You can ambush enemies, you can climb on vertical buildings, you can use the areas to your advantage, but you can only do so in a set amount of steps per turn. When your turn is over, the enemy comes in. The enemy, unless you can have actual visual sight of them, are invisible. You have no idea where they are, so their turns are done blind. So you have no idea where they are. You've got your defense points depending on what the skirmish is, what campaign you have, and it boils down to really either steal their shit or kill them all. Which is fine by me, you know. You do have side quests and you do have objectives that you can perform, like stealing trinkets and scavenging areas of the landscape, but let's be honest, you're there to wipe the crap out of everybody else. And Mordheim does that fantastically. It's a very slow paced game though, so it won't suit everybody. The turns are slow, the calculation of computer AI is slow. But if you sit yourself down and you just want to relax and you just want to play something that absorbs your entire evening, then Mordheim might very well be for you. Also, it's very well designed for the handheld controller rather than a keyboard and mouse. It's translated perfectly into very simple button combinations. There's no kind of cramping left trigger, right trigger, square and circle or any of that crap. It's all very sensibly and logically laid out. You have full control over your character at all times. You've got your right thumbstick to show a map. You've got different viewing elements. You can view your objectives on the screen. You can hide them. You can see your health. You can switch your inventory and whatnot and so on and so forth, which is really good when it comes to the gameplay, because You can play it as in-depth as you want it. If you want to see the dice rolls of your random choices of whether you're going to make a hit or a miss when you attack somebody, then you can do. If you just want to see the visual of you wailing on somebody, well, you can do that too. No, it's got good customizable options in that regard. The screen can be a bit cluttered when you have everything on full, but personally I found it quite useful to have that information on screen. The game is also quite in-depth. It has a steep learning curve because it is so intense in the fact that you build your warband, you gain experience, they has permanent death. Even if they don't die in one skirmish, they can be permanently scarred, and that can affect the way that they fight in the future. They might not be able to carry certain weapons, they might have a certain mental characteristic, like they'd be more prone to flee when they're outnumbered, so on and so forth. So it's quite persistent in that regard. You can hire new people to control. You can manage their armor in their inventory. You can change the way it looks, the way it acts. You also have to pay for the upkeep of your warband. So after every mission you have to pay the warrior's wages, essentially. It's got lots of in-depth detail like that. There are 5, I think it was. Yeah, I think there are 5 different warbands that you can choose from, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. You've got the humans, you've got the Sisters of Sigmar, you've got the Possessed, you've got the Skaven, you've got the Mercenaries from the Empire, and you have some Witch Hunters as well. Each of these different warbands has their own strengths that they bring to the table. Personally, I like the Skaven. I like the little rat people. I think they look great. I think they're quick. I think they're quite decent to play with. But the thing is, no matter who you choose, they each have their own campaigns. So effectively, you're getting 5 campaigns in one game. So value for money here is fantastic. It's got co-op as well. You can play... Well, it's not really co-op, it's more versus. Yeah, let me rephrase that. It's got a versus mode where you can do skirmishes with other people, up to 4 players, and this is fantastic fun if you can find a match. Now the problem is, it's not the most popular game, especially when there's Call of Duty out, there's Battlefield out, there's Titanfall out, there's Gears of War out. All of these games are competing for your online time, and Mordheim is just getting whooshed away in this sea of FPS games. And because it's rather niche, you're not going to get people who are into FPSs drifting naturally into Mordheim. It's something that you have to be genuinely interested in, and there's only going to be a niche market for it. So finding a multiplayer match will be difficult, and it will get harder as the game ages, which is a shame because it's fun. It really is, it's fun. But taking that aside and looking at the game as an objective whole, I'm very impressed with Mordheim. It's second only to XCOM 2, and XCOM 2 in my opinion is the greatest console RTS game of this generation. It's absolutely fantastic, and Mordheim is not that far behind it. So that is high praise indeed for Mordheim. I think that if you are interested in a turn-based RTS game, you don't have a PC, you have XCOM already, and you want to try something with a bit more of a fantastical setting, then Mordheim is absolutely for you. Mordheim City of the Damned gets a rating of 8 out of 10.
Oh, yeah!
It's an excellent game, and I heartily recommend it. Okay guys, well, what do you think? Have you played Mordheim? What are your experiences with the game? Maybe you want to share your tags so that we can play multiplayer together. That would be awesome. Yeah, either way, tell me what you think of Mordheim. If you went out and bought it on the strength of this review, please let me know, because that makes me feel really good and boost my ego a bit. Yeah. Well, what else can I say, really? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you consider buying Mordheim, and I wish you the best. This is me. I'm out. 8 out of 10. Well worth buying. Go out and grab it now. Or, alternatively, go to the Xbox store and do it from the comfort of your own home. Okay guys, take it easy. Bye for now. A game based on the Warhammer series, made by a company that I can't remember offhand. Shit. Mordheim basically is a game based around the city of Mordheim. City of Mordheim.